On December 7th, 1941, the Imperial Japanese Naval Service launched a surprise attack on the American naval base Pearl Harbor. The attack killed 2,335 servicemen and wounded another 1,143. It also resulted in the sinking of 18 ships, including 5 battleships. This is a day America would never forget. The following day, on December 8th, the United States officially declared war against Japan.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the
After war was declared, the United States quickly began mobilization of funds, people, natural resources, and materials for the production and supply of military equipment and forces during the war. Japan had underestimated the might of American production, and was not prepared for a prolonged conflict that would require the production of fighting men and machines on a scale never before seen. Despite this, Japan continued to fight even after many lost battles and territories. This unwillingness to surrender by the Japanese is what eventually led the Americans to develop a weapon so powerful that it would put an end to the war once and for all. In 1945, the atomic bomb was created by J. Robert Oppenheimer, a project which was approved by Franklin D. Roosevelt as a means to end the war. The bomb was first put to test on July 16, 1945, near New Mexico, and its explosion resulted in a mushroom cloud up to 40,000 feet high. By 1945, the United States was ready to use the bomb against Japan. One of the bombs, the Little Boy, was uranium-based, while its counterpart, the Fat Man, was plutonium-based. These two bombs were to be the first, and so far last atomic bombs used during war. The Little Boy was dropped in Hiroshima and killed up to 180,000 people, 80,000 of them dying instantly. Meanwhile, the Fat Man was dropped in Nagasaki, and it killed up to 40,000 people instantly. This overwhelming display of power is what finally convinced Japan to surrender. Even though the bombs killed thousands of Japanese people, it is undeniable that the use of the bomb was necessary. Had we not used the atomic bomb on Japan, we would have been forced to launch a full-scale invasion of Japan's home island. This would have resulted in a death count that would have exceeded that of Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. It is uncertain how many people would have died had we launched an invasion. However, it is estimated to be many times greater than the 200,000 plus people that died in the bombings. In fact, the simple strategic conventional bombings by the US to Japan had many more casualties than Nagasaki and Hiroshima had. The March 1945 bombing of Tokyo alone managed to kill some 120,000 Japanese. After years of bloody conflict, the forces of good had prevailed over evil. The United States had defeated her fascist enemy, and the threat of a world ruled by tyranny was eliminated. Freedom had won, and peace had been restored.
We are gathered here, representatives of the major warring powers, to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. The issues involving divergent ideals and ideologies have been determined on the battlefields of the world, and hence are not for our discussion or debate. It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past, a world dedicated to the dignity of man and the fulfillment of his most cherished wish for freedom, tolerance, and justice. As